So we're going to be doing the first transmission around fear.
Oh, this is really amazing. You know, the Pleiadians want to speak to you today really strongly about the fear that is present in our lives. Now, I think most of us out there recognize that all our decisions and choices come down to two things: love or fear. What they're saying is it's time for us to look at fear in a new way. Fear generally is thought of as something that it's like a cautionary feeling. Oh, well, I better not do that, because you feel the fear. Oh, I can't do that. But they're telling me and want you to know that fear is just a feeling. And the fact is, you can feel the fear and step forward and do what you are going to do anyway. The human race has learnt and been conditioned that fear is like a red light to stop you. And what the Pleiadians are asking us to do is to condition ourselves to think about fear as actually a green light, a reason to do something. And the more fear that is present, the more reason you should go ahead and do it. Because what you're going to find is, as you take your steps, feeling the fear, acknowledging it beside you, don't try and push it away, but to acknowledge that fear and take your steps forward, and you'll find that you do what you were meant to do. It doesn't stop you from moving forward with your passion, with your intuition, with making changes into your life. But the fear just goes beside you and doesn't really do anything or go anywhere. And after a while, you can even look at it and smile because it no longer has the same hold on you. I know in my life, I think the biggest thing I was asked to do was to leave my children, leave Australia and come to America. This is where I was supposed to anchor the work in the world. And I was terrified. I didn't know anyone in America. I didn't know what I was to do, where I was to go, but I knew it was what I was supposed to do. And it was a very difficult thing, leaving my children and sending them to live with their fathers. The fear was so great, it almost crippled me. But I knew the fear was not to stop me. And I got on the plane to come here to this country, America, with so much fear inside of me, but knowing that it was not the reason for me not to do what I was supposed to do. It was my next step. So I took that next step, and of course, everything flowed. And the fear, I learned very early on not to let that fear stop me in many areas and times of my life, that I was to take my next step. And it's the same for you out there. You're being asked to feel the fear, not to negate it. That's the secret. The Pleiadians don't want you pushing the fear away. You have to be authentic with your feelings. If the fear is there, they want you to be conscious, saying, this is my fear right here, but it doesn't have to stop me. They also want you to be conscious when you choose love. You say, I'm choosing love right now. I feel the fear, but I'm choosing my loving action towards myself. I'm taking this next step. But their point, and I think this is a very important point, if you feel the fear is too much and you can't choose love, and you have to choose to go with the fear, that is also chosen in a very conscious way. And you say to yourself, you know what? I'm not ready. I can't choose and move away from the fear right now. So I'm going to have to choose my fear reaction, but I'm going to do it consciously, and I'm going to hold myself in love and compassion in this moment. And this is what the Pleiadians are asking you to do. They're asking you to be willing to be conscious of your choices, whether they be love or fear, to be honest with yourself, holding yourself with that love and compassion. When you can choose the love and the loving action and not respond to that knee-jerk reaction of fear, that's wonderful. But when you can't, be loving and compassionate with yourselves. This is the key to changing this incredible hold that fear has with us in this lifetime as human beings. And it's time for it to change. but it changes through us changing the action and reaction to it. And slowly I ask you to look at fear as being the green light that says, oh my gosh, feel my fear here. It's so strong. This must be a really important step that I'm taking, and I'm taking it now. So that is what the Pleiadians are really asking of us right now, to have the courage to change the reaction to fear, because the fear will always be there. Know that it's always going to be there. And we don't have to keep responding to it in the same way. We can set ourselves free. And as you do that, because the fear is the great separator, it keeps us in separation.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I like that you can choose fear. Just they want you to do it consciously. Like the Pleiadians seem to give you permission to do that free will choice. There's the option fear and love, but they allow you to choose each moment.
It's very important, because otherwise you stay in the same cycle. You never move through and heal from it. You just hold tight again. And that tightness is in the heart. And that tightness separates you, actually. Mm-hmm. It separates you from your sacred heart and keeps us all in separation.
Can you talk about that, about the fear and why is it that it gets held in the heart and the heart is so affected by the fear?
When we get afraid, we hold our breath. We do that from the beginning. It's a natural human reaction, and the fear locks in the heart. And that, remember, our heart is our tool to the light of ourselves. It's the line that links us to our intuition, our passion, our heart's desire to be manifest in our world. So that fear locks in the heart, and then it stops that direct connection and direct intuition from flowing through to us, so that we can move and live our passion in this world.
And how do you go, what are we going to be doing in this transmission to loosen that fear?
Okay, let's talk about our transmission. The letting go energy is going to be activated. Now, for those who saw the last broadcast, you know about the letting go energy. Well, this letting go energy is very powerful, and it's going to come into your heart. We're going to ask you to hold your heart during this first transmission and bring your consciousness and breath into the physical heart. And the letting go energy is going to be transmitted into the cells of the heart, loosening up the fear that's caught up in the cells. And the spiral energy, our sacred spiral energy, which is very powerful, is going to begin flowing through your heart. And the sacred spiral works with the Pleiadian energies. It's going to actually unravel the tightness in your heart where the fear is locked in. And it also acts as an integrator, because as the fear unravels, the light is going to come in and activate your sacred heart.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm going back. I want to know: isn't there a good fear? Isn't there fear that protects you on this plane, this earth plane?
It's so interesting. We locate the fear as our protector. No, we do get intuitive guidance. You know what? This isn't safe. And it's strong. And it's a different energy to fear, that fear that wants to sabotage us. And that's something you need to understand. There's the intuitive thing. You know what? I don't feel right going in there. That's a very different energy than the fear that grips you in the stomach. You know that knot in your stomach? Oh gosh, I can't take this step. I'm too afraid. I'm too afraid of the changes or whatever it is. It's a gripping energy. But the intuitive energy that comes in that cautions you, this is not a safe place, or this is not a safe thing for me to do, has a very different quality to it. And I want you to take a breath, those at home and you in the audience, just take a breath into your bodies right now and just feel that the breath going into the cells and feeling the rightness of the truth of that it's the intuitive, strong feeling. It's steady, that one that tells you, you know what, this is not a safe thing. And it's very important to discern that, the difference.
Okay.